Good morning. Good morning. I moved some lights around, so maybe we're not getting quite as bad of a glare. Several things. There are new subscribers here. Welcome. Welcome. I don't always say that because I forget that I'm not talking to myself or like 6 people on here. So, welcome. This is what I was looking for yesterday. And this is not far off as opposed to far out. But I mean, like, here's those same, like, rounded teardrop shapes. She does have some flower prints in here. But, I mean, there's a lot of the same elements in some. Some are exaggerated. I mean, like, right here. Some are exaggerated. Not exaggerated, but elaborated. Paisleys and blah, 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 blah. Color palette's different. But, I mean, this curved shape is not. As many lines, yes, is different. But, I mean, it's some of the same. I mean, some of the same. There's a lot of same design elements happening. Maybe that's the way to say it. And I think maybe that's one reason why this is like holy moly for me. Just holy moly. Color combos. Love it. Love it. So, and it had pride of place. That's why I couldn't find it, because it's over in the very, very expensive Disney books and the Basquiat book. But I forgot to look there yesterday. Okay, so my husband took my car and got the oil changed, which you know what that means. I had to babysit the very, 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 very needy dog. So I told my husband when he got back, you are never allowed to leave, because the dog could see his car in the driveway, because we don't have a garage. We have just our driveway. And he's like, why are you hiding him in the car? Why can't I go see him? Why is his car here and you won't let me go see him? Why is he hiding from me? What did you do to him? Why did you make him go to the car and can't come out? Like, when you take my car someplace, you have to take yours and move it. This dog rules our life. Yes, the longer you're here, you'll find that out. We have a dog that rules our life. Gunner. We are not gun people at all. But he is a pistol. So we kept the name Gunner when we got him from the groomers. All right. I mean, from the whatever we got him from. Breeder. Anyhow. All right. New people, I am using this Rex Ray book as inspiration because I absolutely love it. Yesterday, I could have stayed here all day and just kept going and going and going. In fact, no, I can't show you that. I already have my Halloween plans because they came to me today in a spurt of inspiration. I'm like, oh yeah. Now, I quite often have Halloween plans for Halloween journaling because I love Halloween. And by the time, and I start like in May thinking about it because I'm just crazy. And by the time Halloween gets here, I've changed my mind 7 times. I don't think I'm going to change my mind this time. Just saying. But, I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, I don't even think I've seen this one. This one looks like, what is it called when paint is peeling? Pickled? This background looks pickled. What do they call that? Peeling? Anyhow, that's a really pretty cornflower blue, pretty color. So, I had time when I was babysitting the dog to make some stencils. These are out of file folders, but I just made like the generic ones. The teardrop, that's not even a teardrop. That's like a pointy oval. There's another one. Here it is. But I made like 3 different sizes. So these can help me cut out These can help me draw the shapes I want to use. Whatever. And I tried to make different sizes of several different things. This is not quite as different, but I can still use it. Then I kept the negative because that can be used also. These can be used on a jelly plate. I did a comma shape because I like that as the base for like a paisley. I did this wavy flower petal thing, leaf. I did a whole one of these. I don't even know what you call that. But I did this one. And this one intrigues me quite a bit. This was like the border. And then I started cutting squares into it. And I did a couple little curved places. I love this. On a jelly plate, this could be quite interesting. But anyhow, these are just file folders. And they will get built up with paint and get even thicker, which is, in my book, is a good thing. So anyhow, I think I might use these today, but I'm not sure how. I cleaned my room yesterday a little bit. I found my book, my Mama Milano book, which is what that book is that I just showed you, which is a design book. Dishes, textiles, clothing in Italy, where this lady lives. And I discovered it on a design show. But I just fell in love with it immediately, the aesthetic. And it's not unlike this aesthetic. And that one came before this. I have all kinds of little scraps over here. I found some more paper that I had made that I kind of got sidetracked from. So my paper bin that's right here is overflowing almost. My smaller sizes is close to overflowing. And the drawer behind me is almost overflowing also. Neither of those places can I put all this in one place because I won't have enough room. So, I gotta, what do you call this? I have a craft mat under here, but I love getting this covered up with stuff. Like clean your paintbrush off kind of place. I can't figure out where to put these. Oh, Lordy. Okay, I guess I'll just open up a drawer and balance them there for a minute. All right, so now, this is what I did yesterday. Gorillas in the Mist. No, Aliens in the Mist. If you are a quilter, my other half of my brain is fabric, and I love quilting and textiles and color. My quilting aesthetic generally is bright also. My favorite quilt designer is K Facet. Hands. Everybody's hands down. Has been, probably will always be. Although he's in his upper 80s, so I'm not sure how much longer that can go on. But he's still kicking, live and kicking. And there's a couple places in here I need to glue across the fold. Or actually just cut across the fold. Or did I just stick my scissors? Yeah, there. But there is a quilter that I follow. I don't know what he does for a living, but I have a feeling it has something to do with military. And he just got back to the United States from being somewhere in the South Pacific. I think, in my detective head. Now, these do not match up perfectly next to each other, but I'm saving my fold here, my spine, because I usually get a lumpy, what I call a lumpy left, and it gets problematic by the end. Anyhow, I can't talk. I follow a quilter, this quilter, who makes a video every other Tuesday. And He's a science fiction fan, and he made a quilt yesterday. His name is Dave's Craft Room. Kind of out there, not a traditional quilter that follows all the rules set in place by the quilt police. I am the exact same way. I kind of go off kilter. Hard to believe, I know. But he made an alien quilt yesterday. I was cracking up. Unbelievable talent in his video. Unbelievable, because he interspersed a story with an old movie. It was fabulous. 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 And it just happened to come out while I was editing yesterday. So I was like right on it as it came out, because I knew he was coming out on Tuesday. And I'm like, ooh, Dave's Craft Room. Let me see what kind of quilt he makes this week. Anyhow, he said something about aliens. Well, the whole thing was about aliens, but his quilt is all aliens. But when I saw that, I'm like, we're on the same wavelength. I'm on the same wavelength as Dave's Craft Room. All of that to say, let's make another, whatever you call these, Rex Ray inspired pages. Now, I've been cutting out my shapes a little bit bigger and then trimming them down, but I love this ring that's left then, especially when I could do this with it. I have a couple things here that I've been using for the last couple days, and I'm wondering, I'm not even using his ideas anymore. I have kind of gone on to my own, and I love that. That's what I wanted to happen. I mean, like, hello. A lot of the shapes are the same, obviously. Ooh, here, what's this? See, like, I love that. Love that. You will find that my camera work leaves a lot to be desired sometimes. I try. I really do. But I'm not a professional. I know that's going to burst your bubble about me. I'm just a lady sitting in my craft room in South Carolina playing. I don't know what's happening between India and Pakistan. But I know there are people from that culture here. My heart breaks for everybody, just like it breaks for everybody in the country, the whole entire country of Israel. I don't know what's going on. Unfortunately, I don't even know if I should say this anymore. You probably won't get help from our president, because you probably don't have enough money. Anyhow, my heart goes out to everybody involved in all of those, Ukraine and Russia, Israel and Hamas, and the innocent Palestinians caught in the middle, Pakistan and India. Awful, 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 awful. War is just a horrible thing. I wish in our modern technology we could get rid of war, really. Kind of like that. Those are intertwined. And because of the size that I'm using, they kind of need to... Ooh. Maybe I like that better. Why can't we all just get along? That's where I'm at. I work in a traveler's notebook. That's the size, the name of my channel, 4x8. This is 4x8. 4x8. Because I absolutely love this size. I did 12x12. There's a little bit of rehashing of the stuff you already know for some people. But I did 12x12 scrapbooks for years. In fact, I'm indexing my travel journals right now, my travel scrapbooks. And realizing, holy moly, if I don't go anywhere else but down the road in Columbia, South Carolina, where I live, I am one lucky, grateful, may I say grateful again, traveler. My husband's is self-employed, so that has allowed us to have times where we've done some really big trips twice in a year. There's things that were overlapping. I'm like, we did those in the same year? Like, and anyhow, I was like, how many times have I been to New York City? I love traveling. I was born almost in the back of a station wagon. Thus my age. You can kind of guess where I'm going with age now. I was born in Ohio. My parents, you don't need to know any of this, but I'm telling you, I kind of talk all the time. Sorry. I was born in Ohio. We went camping in the back of a station wagon to the Great Smoky Mountains, and I was 3 months old. Therefore, I love to travel. My mom grew up traveling. My mom was a native Californian. She had some health issues when my sisters and I were babies, and we're only a year apart. There's 12 months between my sister and me. That sister and my other sister, there's 15 months apart in that. Don't ask me. My mother was crazy, but she wanted 3 girls, 3 years apart. That's what she got. So hello. Anyhow, we moved west back to California, for my mom's health, and I was like 4-ish. And so I consider myself a Californian more than a Ohio / transfer to California. However, I've been in South Carolina twice as long as I was in California. That is a whole nother story. But, so I do have a tiny bit of a Southern accent. I don't think it's a lot. But like when I have friends visiting here from from California, or I go home or go back to see family, they're like, hold on, we can't understand you. I'm like, I'm not that much of a Southern accent person. However, all of that to say, let's get busy. So anyhow, traveling. We grew up camping, and we were lucky enough to have California as a home base, and we could go all over the West, and we did. We had tents, we had trailers, we had a little bit bigger trailer. We finally had a trailer with an indoor bathroom. When we all left home, my mom and dad got an even bigger trailer. I'm like, yeah, you got the nice ones when we left. At the time, I loved it, but I was like, God, why did we have to go again? We belonged to a trailer group, so we would go around. I grew up around the San Francisco Bay Area, and we got to go to Bodega Bay. We got to go to the wine country. We were in the county right below. We were between the Golden Gate Bridge and the wine country. There's a county there called Marin County. That's where I grew up. In a little town called Novato. Not Nevada. Do not call the state of Nevada. How do people say it? Nevada? No, it is Nevada. That irks my everlasting soul. Anyhow, we would go through Nevada to get to Yellowstone, the Grand Tetons, blah, 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 blah. Luckily, traveling as a kid was a priority with my parents, and traveling makes you a better citizen. I can appreciate both sides of everything, except for Russia and Ukraine. Don't understand that. But, when you see other cultures and you immerse yourself in other cultures, it makes you a better person and more tolerant. Tolerance. That's enough of a history lesson and a little bit about me. And, right now I am totally immersed in Rex Ray. And a couple other people are doing it too, just coincidentally. Because I'm a one-woman shop here. I'm digging through a bucket of paper here. Ooh. I painted a ton of stuff on some magazines. And I love that sound. I don't know if I want to change this. Okay, hold on. We have to use our stencils. Where'd I put it? I'm just going to close the book because I'm not even using it today. I will go back to it, but today I'm kind of off on my own. But here, I'm wondering, I might add this shape down here. Yeah. This is a more natural looking color palette. So I think one thing I have learned, I don't usually cut, I do a lot of tearing. I like a torn edge, but I'm learning to cut things a little bit bigger because then that's how you get this when you trim it down. So I'm going to cut this on purpose just a little bit bigger. And I don't teach. I do not teach. And by the way, I do not teach because I'm usually learning myself and I don't want that responsibility. I'm a huge proponent of YouTube University. That's how I've learned what I do know. But I don't want anybody to think that I'm going to teach you how to do something. You can sit here and watch me make mistakes and tell me I'm doing something wrong. Actually, don't tell me if I'm doing something wrong because you'll burst my very fragile ego. But see, now I have this for something. I love that. Cut yourself. I don't teach, but listen to what I'm saying right now. Cut yourself a tad bigger and you get this whole other dichotomy. In fact, because this is also lacy, I think I'm going to use this piece. But I feel like I need something else right here. Punches are your friends too. I'm going to use my big circle punch and go through my bucket of paper. And this has a little bit of, because it's printed on magazine text, it's a little bit different aesthetic. Like right here, it says, he could make that. I could make this. I always think I can do something, and then I'm like, oh, that is a lot harder than I thought. But I am coming to the realization that punches are a good tool for this aesthetic. And this is me. This usually happens. I will say, I'm a huge fan of Ali Edwards. I'm a huge fan of Amy Tangerine, Robin McClendon. And I get not paid, not sponsored, nothing. I get Amy Tangerine's products a lot. Number one, I like supporting her. I get Ali Edwards, a subscription quarterly from her. Because, again, I want us to support. But I don't always use them. Now, I probably use Amy Tangerine a little bit more. She was a huge influence on me on this size. But I like making my own. I love making my own paper. I love making my own stencils. I could buy these shapes, whatever. Give me a paintbrush and some paper of any kind. Happy, 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 happy. I think that's going to do it for this one. Now, these are metallic pink. And this is on text from a magazine. There's stuff under here that I've painted on and printed on. I love Procreate. I do a lot of Procreate stuff and make my own paper. One day I'm going to make a book on Amazon, even though I cannot stand Jeff Bezos' aesthetic at the moment. But it's pretty much all I have around here. Columbia does not have a good craft outlet. There's one in Charlotte. Good Postage they're a authentic traveler's notebook, which is what this is, seller. But that's 2 hours away, and I hate driving on interstates anymore. I'm an old lady. I don't want to drive with all those trucks. Although now there's no trucks because we have no ships and blah, 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 blah. But, where was I going with this? Oh, I do not believe in the aesthetic of Hobby Lobby at all, so I try not to use them. Michael's is all we have left. They're slowly but surely, or actually rapidly, and especially now, getting out of crafting, I think, what I've heard, and more into decorating, and call it kind of like, you know, the majority of what's at Hobby Lobby anymore. They've reduced their craft supplies. So, a good magazine that you don't care about painting on. Rolling Stone is fantastic. Although magazines are going to be gone pretty soon too. Rolling Stone is fantastic because it is a huge piece of paper. I'm also a huge proponent of this paper right here. This is on a roll. It is painter's paper. The stuff that you buy at Walmart or a hardware store to cover up your furniture or your window or whatever so that you don't paint on it. It's called masking paper. And it comes on rolls. It's cheap. And I paint on that a lot. It's thin. And therefore you can, you know, bulk it up with paint, and or it doesn't make your journals quite as thick. I'm doing this really wrong. I know. I do everything wrong. I don't think I do things wrong, actually. I think I do things the way I want to do them, right or wrong. That's the kind of quilter I am too. Right or wrong, I still do them the way I want to. The quilt police are always on my tail. The paper police are always on my tail. But so far I've been able to outrun them. I am lucky enough to go to a quilt retreat every year. And everybody there is like, what are you doing? Because they're making traditional quilts and I'm making art quilts, or I just start sewing fabric together and don't use a pattern. I do love, don't get me wrong, I do love the aesthetic of some of these people with their patterns and how much neater they are. Neat in the fact that they're tidy and quilted perfectionally. But my brain doesn't work like that. It's not my aesthetic. As well as my brain doesn't work like that. But I'm not knocking myself. Because I just like that work, that look of abstract and art and okay. I think I'm going to make another quickie. Oh my God. This has been the most fun. My work has changed a lot in the last 6 months. Really has. And when I say this is work, it really isn't. It's art therapy for me. I'm not a huge fan of what's happening in the United States right now, so I need a lot of therapy. And I live in a state where I'm the only one, except for one other couple in our entire friend group, including family members, my husband's family, not mine, that feel the way we do about politics. And I try not to bring it up because I feel like this is art, not politics here. But this art has saved me from stepping back from a lot of friend groups, art groups, everything, because I was coming home from every single event angry. And this started 6 years ago. So my art has really been therapy for me a lot. of therapy. Okay, I want to do a bright page. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to get Amy Tangerine's book out. Her latest one. Called Paper Play 2, Volume 2. This is the kind of book I want to make. But, you know what? No, I'm going to get the first one. Because I have a couple pages already torn out of one of these. Maybe not that one. I bought a couple of them because I love them. I had one that said use. I can't tell which one I've used. Maybe this one. Ooh. This is what I would like to make, but I have a tech challenge. I'm not techie, as if you couldn't tell. And there's a huge learning curve for me to do this, to transfer files. I keep telling my husband, will you help me? But he doesn't like Apple products, and all I have is Apple products. And he doesn't really. I'm going to use this one too. Let's just see what we can come up with these colors. Maybe another blue. That's too dark. It might be interesting to add the concept of these grids in here. Okay. All right, so these go back in the bucket of paper. All right, I'm gonna... I almost, yesterday, in some downtime, started cutting out a bunch of these shapes and just putting them in a container. And I still might, like, take my bucket of scraps, smaller scraps, and just start making a bunch of shapes out of it. I almost did that yesterday. But, and I still might. And it's supposed to rain this afternoon, so I might do that. My travel index update. I got the entire first volume completely done, I think. Now, I did have to ask my sisters about a couple dates, and they helped me with that. I have a sister that's really good with numbers and remembers dates weirdly. And so I was like, when did we do this? When did we do this? Because we do a lot of stuff together. There's this... Can't find my smaller petal shape. Here it is. Okay. Now, I have noticed that Rex Ray used a lot of solids, or what appear to be solids. However, on further examination, I have noticed that actually he used a lot of painted or printed one way or another. Rex Ray has passed away, sadly, in 2015, I think it was. You just start building images. And I don't know what I'm going to do here. What? These stupid punches drive me nuts. I try to make my videos between 20 and 40 minutes. I know that's a huge gap, but it really is not. I do them every day because it's selfishly good for me, therapeutically. And I am a one-man lady shop. Most people would say, you're crazy for doing this every day. I know the YouTube algorithm says, lady, you're stupid for doing this every day, but it helps me, so I do it every day. Okay, we're going to mix in some stuff here because this is just not enough color for me. I want this bright green. And sometimes I can't help myself and I just paint. And Rex Ray said that too. He would sometimes at night, he would do simple things. And he did a lot of little things like this to keep his designs fresh and different. His flower stuff was detailed. Not stuff, art. We've had some really cool mornings, and then it warms up to almost 90 during the day. But today it's not going to get that warm. Maybe like 80, but it's all supposed to rain. Which we had a really extended spring last year, and we've had a really extended spring this year. Okay, I cut this one bigger again, so I have this other. And it's okay if it has a split in it where I cut it, because when you glue it down, you can't see it. See, I love that, but it doesn't go for today's, for this one, but I can use it for this part. Ooh, that's metallic, a lot of metallic. But recently, I've been trying to use up this jelly gouache stuff that I have. Not stuff, paint, and not enough contrast. I just kept painting on magazine pages. Here's a bunch of X-rays. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Ooh. Here's some stuff I did on Procreate. But I'm going to cut some yellow out. I think that'll be good. This is my stuff, and I just maneuvered it around on Procreate, which I also love doing a lot. I don't know what I'm doing here yet. There's always a good flower garden is always a good thing. Maybe these are a flower bed of the same flowers, or ladies. I also see ladies in these shapes. Yeah, this is one that I made. But I also see insects, Bugs. I love a good bug. Crazy bugs, not real bugs. Don't like the real bugs. Ooh, what's this? This is just some kind of mess that was on mixed media paper, and I used it as a paintbrush wiper offer. Oh, wait a second. Are these 3 kings? Or 3 queens? No, I don't think so. I don't know what these are. Do they have to be anything? No. Ooh. I can hear boats out there. I live on Lake Murray, outside of Columbia, or it borders Columbia, and it's right in the center of the state. In the springtime, there's a lot of fishing tournaments up here anymore. Ooh, that looks like a cat face. Or another alien. Perhaps. This Dave's Craft Room's Alien movie was so great. And it was a real movie. But the man kept seeing tennis ball eyes. Or ping pong eyeballs. Ooh, now I see a face again. I need another one of these. But a different shape. I lost my smaller I Dream a Genie bottle. I lose things all the time, FYI. Where'd it go? I cannot find my small I Dream a Genie bottle. Oh dear. Huh. All right. I'm going to draw this on the back. This is the shape I'm looking for. I got my X-Acto knife out. Rex Ray used an X-Acto knife. I am not that skilled. I barely can use a pair of scissors. Okay, I'm going to cut this a little bit bigger. Now, some would think this is a waste. No, it's not. I keep all that too. I keep everything. Thus, the state of my craft room. My husband was in here yesterday. I was fiddling around with some new lights. And he said, I'll hand it to you. You got a lot of stuff in here. This is a spare bedroom at our house. That's not quite as effective. Looks like a hairpin. Okay. So you got a lot in here. I've done some craft room tours, which half of this is fabric and half is paper, so I have to be omnipresent in the fact that I still have a lot of fabric here. Not as much as I used to. Okay. I might leave these and have them be the start of something else and maybe do something with it tomorrow. I don't usually do that. But I kind of don't want to mess this up. I'm going to glue it down as it is. Because I kind of like this. Like this. And I kind of like the animal face look that's happening here, and or alien species. These are Ray people. I also laugh at my own jokes. As in Rex Ray, they're Ray people, but they could also be like, they have X-ray vision. Oh my gosh. Okay. Volume 2 of this journal next month. I do everything in months. Don't ask me why. I just do. I'm a little bit rigid with that. It just works in my head to start a new project at the beginning of a month. Sometimes I do something. I did a project once that was 180 days. So, you know, sometimes it goes on for many months, but for whatever reason, it has to begin and end at a month. I am trying to break myself of that. Recently, I have done a couple shorter projects, mainly because I was traveling and or having company. My best friend from home. I say home, even though I've lived here much longer, and this is really home. But we've been friends since we were 10, which was many decades ago. She finally came out and visited for the first time. She had never met my husband. We had a very tiny, tiny wedding with just family. Because this was my second marriage, his second marriage. And my friend and I have been friends since grammar school, and we did a lot of the same things. She's had 2 marriages. She's had kids as a 46-year-old having twins. No way would I have ever done that. I've never had kids. I just have puppies. But anyhow, okay, these are, what did I call them? Ray people? What did I call them? Raelians? Ray? I'll have to watch my video back to see what I called them. They have X-ray vision. This is not my Halloween idea. Ooh. I think the mail lady just came. Ray people. What did I call them? I'll have to watch it. X-ray vision. See, I've already forgotten. Anyhow, I'm going to leave these because I'm going to work on them tomorrow and elaborate my Ray people. Oh, how come these are not glued down? I thought they were. This might be my Ray people, their craft room, because I'm sure they're crafters. Oh my goodness. We're repopulating the planet with kinder people. Ugh. So much fun. Rays of fun. Thanks. Oh my God, it's 50 minutes long. Fast forward me, people. Don't let me babble in your ear for 50 minutes. Ay, ay, ay. Thanks for watching. Welcome to all the new people. Welcome to the same old people. Thank you for coming back every day and commenting and all that stuff. I never remember to say that always because I think I'm still talking to just like 6 people here. But I really do appreciate this community and what I've been able to do on here. Small as it is, I like it small. I'm short. I'm only 5 feet tall. Thanks for watching. Bye. A training session for the Baskerville, which is a muzzle that has lots of leeway for him because he's a ferocious dog and we are out of groomers in our area. Nobody will take him. That's the look of his face right now. But little by little, you make him spend more time in it every day. And the only way we can do it with him is to bribe him. So he has to stick his whole head in there.
Papa makes the pieces shorter and shorter.
Oh! Are your pieces getting smaller and smaller, Gunner?
Yeah. Yeah.
But at this way, he thinks he's getting a treat and we can snap it on him. And it's very loose around his head, but it keeps his mouth from biting groomers, which he is quite prone to do. Plus, they can still trim his head. Because right now his head is way bigger than his body.